Bam, we're live. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Brandon?
I'm fantastic. So today, Iris is joining us. We're going to go over some cool lofty features, but I want to take a second and if you want to introduce yourself to the viewers, and if you guys actually are interested in doing more things related to CRMs, Iris has her channel as well. But I'll let you pitch your stuff.
Yeah, so it's just I'm a real estate agent with LPT. And my channel is Modern Agent on YouTube. And that basically is just a channel that helps with social media. I will here and again, or how do you say that?
Yeah.
Every now and again. Um send out templates and things like that. So people are always asking me like, how'd you make that on Instagram or YouTube or whatever? So then I will go ahead and make a video just because it's easier to share it that way, and it lives forever.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's so, Iris and I both, we work out of the Colorado Springs market. We're both agents with LPT. We both love doing educational videos and providing value to not only agents, but also our clients, of course. But this topic today, we're trying to provide some value to fellow Lofty users. And if you're with LPT, we do have a free version that comes with it. So I am putting your information at the bottom. Is that correct? Modern Agent. So if you go
Yep.
check her out on YouTube, she's got great content within the Colorado Springs area. You can go check her out. But yeah, let's dive in. So the reason why we decided to do a lofty episode is to really help people, because we're getting a lot of feedback from LPT and other users that are like, "Hey, I need help with this or that." And it's not always intuitive, but once you see the features and the options available within Lofty, it's pretty cool, the things that you can do. So with that being said, there's a ton of things we can do, right? So we're going to pick three things for today. The title, Lofty for Idiots. So don't take it personal. We all started somewhere. We're still learning. You know what I mean? So I always feel like an idiot when I'm walking through, clicking on buttons, trying to learn things, right? So that's kind of where that came from. But the first topic we're going to go into is going to be on landing pages. So let me share my screen. And Iris, feel free to stop me at any point in time if you feel like there's a question we need to go over.
One
So
of
if
the
you're in,
things I
yeah,
did
go
want to
ahead.
mention is that, Lofty for Idiots. It's just, I even just talking to you just now, I did not realize how much Lofty did. There's a ton of stuff in here that is so helpful for real estate agents. So I'm glad that we're going over this. And this is just like the lead gen portion of it. It just goes so deep in just all the things that it does. So it's not even that we're just stupid and don't know what it does, but the
There's so
fact,
many features. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll briefly, before we get into the kind of the three things we wanted to go over, I just want to like touch on kind of the highlights of Lofty, right? So you have a ton of different sections on these top part here. So people, that's where you're going to get into your pipeline, all your leads, and you can categorize them how you want. Then you can go into transactions. So if you go under contract, you can have that set up so you can track your GCI, you can track inspections, you can notify. What I'm trying to say, notify inspectors, appraisal dates, all those things. You can keep track of every single thing within transactions. Calendar, you can do buyer tours, you can set up your appointments, you can have it synced to your calendar, your Google, your Outlook, your Calendly. Listings, everything that's actually listed will go in there, and then you can push that to social media. You can do seller presentations, all kinds of cool features. We're going to be hitting up marketing, so I'll go on that in a second. Then you have reporting. So if you're looking at your business goals, things of that nature, keeping yourself on track for the year, you can go into there. Excuse me. And then website. So it also has an IDX. So now you have your website, of client facing website that you can track. You can use that as lead gen for landing pages. And then marketplace, where you get your add-ons and your features like AI, your additional CMA, unlimited features, etc. And then settings. So making sure you go through that. I would say settings is probably the first tab you're going to want to click on and walk through every single tab on the left. All right. So let's get into marketing. So you can see there's a lot of things going on here, but we're going to start with landing pages. So landing pages, why are they important? What do they do? What are landing pages, right? So landing pages, typically it's a single page. It's created for the purpose of marketing, to provide value, to have something for your clients. They can go in and register on your CRM, and then you can have that back and forth with your client. So any user, there is a caveat for Lofty because we're an enterprise version. If you don't own your own domain, so my domain is cosliving.co. If I didn't have one, I could use Lofty, but you can only have up to 10 landing pages at a time. If you're using the free, or I'm sorry, if you don't have an IDX domain on yourself, or an agent domain, if that makes sense. So we're going to start. This first step is going to landing pages under tools. And then you have options for these landing pages of what you want to do. So you can feature an area, buyer guide download, seller download. So what would you like to do today, Iris? What do you want to hit up first?
Let's stay on that vein of buyers and let's do the buyer guide download, or maybe feature a listing.
Feature
Actually,
a listing? All right.
yeah,
Where are we at? Feature a
first
listing.
one.
Beautiful. Okay. So first thing is going to pop up. You're going to want to sure you name this. So we're going to name this as a feature, a listing, just so we can stay on track. It's going to go to the website. This is the lead source. So you can identify this as landing page if you want. If you want to have that, I created it as website just because it made sense for me. That's where they're going to come from. So I did that. But you can choose and you can create as many as you need or want.
And if you
Next,
start getting into making like a ton of different landing pages, I would get very specific because I noticed I started forgetting, like, oh shoot, well, which
yeah,
one?
which category of landing pages are they in? Because then that's great information. Because now you can cut the other ones off if they're not working and really dive into that particular category. So that's a great idea. Your URL, that's just what it pops up here. You can change that if you want, if it's available. And then we're going to do for sale. So I'm going to add a manual listing. I've got a listing that just actually went back on the market, unfortunately. Fell out of contract. All right. So property address, it pops up. Typically, it will not pop up an address that's not actively listed within the MLS that's attached to your Lofty. So you have to go in, you have to add all the MLSs that you're working within for it to actually populate. So if you go into your Lofty, you don't see anything, you're like, wait a minute, I have a listing. That's because your MLS is not attached. And that would be the first step when you set up your Lofty, because it can take a couple of weeks depending on the MLS and how fast they are. Then we click save. Oh, it takes a second.
Is that going to pull
Get
other
patient.
listings? So say like you have permission from another brokerage, will it pull that too, or is it just LPT listings on there?
Let's see. Do you have a listing right now? Let's see if you have, or actually it
I'm
wouldn't
at
be.
LPT.
Yeah, I know. Right. All right. It should do any. Do you want to
Okay.
give me a listing address that is part of a different brokerage? Just kind of Google one.
Yeah.
You have Zillow
Let me
open or
just grab
something
it.
like that.
Let's do 1885 Independence Drive. Oh, cool. So yeah, as long as you get permission.
Yeah, that would be key. Absolutely. Yeah, getting permission from the listing agent. So I think long as you have access to it within the MLS, you can add it as a
Feature it.
landing page. Yep.
Cool.
Which is cool because if you know the agent with a different brokerage and you guys want to work together to market that property, why not? Right. That's a
Yeah.
win-win in my
That's the
book.
point of the
So
buyer's agent.
yes. All right. So this is the page that popped up, automatically created when I input that listing. It's bringing in the pictures of that listing
It
and
looks
it's
nice.
populating. It does. It looks very nice. And I wish, this actually, I probably should be promoting this. I did before, and then it came back on market. So I got to redo it. Here we can start to add information. If I have a YouTube tour, which I do, I can input. So let me go and grab my YouTube video from that listing. If you bear with me, I'm just going to go to my channel real quickly
Now,
and
one of
pull
the
that
things that
information.
I've been told is that running ads to your YouTube channel hurts the channel. So say like you have it on there and you feature it. I actually have 2 different channels one for to promote listings. But I heard that if you do it as
Oh.
unlisted, like if you unlist the video and run ads to it, then it doesn't kill your attention as much.
Oh, you mean like if I have my YouTube video on here and I add it as a here, right? And I put that video there. Oh, not sure why it wants to do that.
And it might be okay because it's not directly on YouTube. It's kind of like an embedded situation. So it might be
I
fine.
see.
But I just
Yeah.
for people who are trying to aggressively grow their channels based on like click-through rate and retention, it's probably just approach with caution.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think that's two different approaches. One, this is really focusing on providing value to your CRM and creating things. But
Mhm.
if you're also trying to grow your channel, right, there's going to be ways of doing things that's probably going to be conflicting, potentially conflicting.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. Get with Iris if you got any questions on the growing your channel. She's fantastic. So
Thanks.
yeah, you can add a video. You have all the information here, okay, and then you can continue to add items in here. You can update the background colors. So if I want to do more of a light blue, I can do that. And then what I'm going to do when I'm done making ads or adjustments, I can do publish. Now from here, it takes you to a page where you can post your socials. I believe you can get one social media without paying extra for. So let's do this. Try this. Yeah, so I can post it here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose Google My Business. I'm going to do LinkedIn. I'm going to do my Twitter. I'm going to do Instagram, and I'm going to do my Facebook business page. I'm going to do all these. I'm going to post. Let's see.
That's a nice
I'm
looking
gonna,
ad.
yeah. So we're going to do. Let's see. Don't miss your chance on it. Yeah, let's just keep it as is, and then immediately I'm trying to think of what is it. Instagram post requires a minimum of one image or video. So we'll just remove Instagram for now,
Yeah.
right? Because each channel and social is going to be a little different. So you have to play with that. And you in the social studio, you'll add your whatever pages and whatever social media outlets you have on here they allow. So I'm going to go ahead and post now, especially that it just came back on the market. So and the cool part about this is that it also hits your Google My Business. If you don't have a Google My Business, you definitely need to get into that. We can probably do another episode
Oh,
on that
look, a
as well.
suggested post. That was my listing.
Right where? Which one?
It
This
just
one?
was the one before. But
Uh,
that's cool that it gives you different listings if you're like, "Well, I don't know. I'm just gonna choose one
yeah,
from here."
right. And be very cautious. Some agents get really upset about you sharing their listings. Which kind of confusing to me. I would say, hey, yeah, absolutely share that listing. Please do. Go find a buyer, bring them to the table. Let's get it going. So
I
I
feel
don't
like
have
when
any
you
issues with
share it
that.
from your own IDX, it's just like the safest way to do it.
Yeah, 100%. So now I'm gonna go to Google right now and just kind of see how that posted. I'm gonna Google my name. See, I've got my AI thing all added up here. Let's get rid of that. Sorry. Yep. All right. So did it post? Where would it be?
For Google,
Mm,
it would be on the updates, that
I'm
down
trying
arrow,
to see where. Oh, there we go.
updates.
Here? No.
Well, if you scroll
It
down to
should
the right, it should
post it.
show. Yeah, but sometimes it takes a second because it has to approve.
Yeah.
So we'll just come
You're
back
right.
to that.
Okay. Cool. All right. So landing page is published. You can share it. And then I don't know if you saw before though, when we went to go publish it, it asks you can either post it to your socials or boost. The boost is where you do paid advertisements. So you can do paid advertisements within Lofty itself, which is awesome. All right. Any questions you think we missed on that? Oops, that's not it.
So if someone were to ask, should I boost it or should I run an ad when it comes to featuring a listing?
I would say it depends on your budget and what your clients want, what your business, how your business is built. I think that posting it to your socials and boosting is probably a good rule of thumb. It just goes back to what your budget is and how you like to promote your business, because there's different areas. Some people already do boost posts within the actual Facebook or Instagram within their business marketplace. So I think it really depends on how they're set up, each
Yeah.
agent.
A lot of people say, no, you have to create an ad on the back end. It doesn't matter I think people overthink it too much.
Yeah.
Just promote the listing. Like, if you
Yeah.
don't know how to do it, just hit the boost button. It's fine. It's not a big
And
deal.
you'll figure it out as you go. You'll say, hey, is this working? Is it not working? Right. And that's how we learn. That's how we do it. So I just want to do a little shout out to the help center. So if you do have questions, the very best place to go is here. And you can either click one of these three areas. So I like to show me how to start, because I'm like, all right, what do I need to do? Landing pages. And then it'll have a different options. The one with the gear icon is going to open a new page, and it's going to show you how to actually create the landing pages like I just showed you. But you can take your time. If you're a visual person, cool. If you like to read, this is probably going to be your best bet. All right. So some things that people, I'd say, go back and forth on whether or not the SEO within the websites actually are worth it. Now, you can play with this if you want. You can put keywords in here. So let's say listing, or no, let's say Colorado, right? And then you can get analysis back on it and say, okay, is it worth it?
Oh, that's cool.
So you can get different analysis
Score.
depending on what type of like key phrase length, or is it meta description score? Is it subheading? You know what I mean? So you have different things like that. Readability. So you have a Google preview as well, what that's going to look like. And then you can put keywords within it and then save it. So if you're looking
Which
for
I highly
Google,
recommend.
right? So there. All right, we're going to pop out of the Lofty landing pages. We'll go back to that. And then the second help piece that I want to make sure you got, help center, it goes directly to what we just said. And you just say landing pages, and you can click on whatever it is, and then it'll take you directly there. So there's the different ways to get to your help, but these are super helpful and useful, right? Learning Center is cool because you can do videos on how-tos, but it's not as easy as just like querying it like you would on Google. All right, what do we got next? Mailers. We do mailers? Yeah, all right. So
mailers are fun.
Yeah, mailers are a lot of fun. You probably need to be a little creative. You need to have a plan in place. Don't just go and shoot out 500 mailers to your neighborhood and then be like, oh, mailers don't work. You have to have a plan. I would suggest doing something either monthly or quarterly. That way you can have a consistent touch with your area. It's usually, they say, 7 to 8 touches or whatever the number is. That number is getting up as we grow, as we get more and more people are dealing with like social media and things like that. Those touches increase. But when you're talking about tangible items, the touches come down a little bit. So if you don't have to have as many touches as you do on social media.
What I like to do too for mailers is put a QR code to some sort of landing page. I would have like the seller's guide. I see that you have one there already made. That QR code on the back. So if you are running ads, they can be retargeted. And I know that's a little more advanced, but yeah. But it's just something for them, a way, like, so when I do it, I have a landing page of me talking like, hey, if you're seeing this ad, you've experienced modern marketing, thus the modern agent plug there. But But basically, I like to connect with them and then try and get that call to action on that link. So here's my calendar below. If you're interested in a free consultation or a free CMA, then they can go ahead and digitally respond to my postcard.
Yes, 100%. And I think I have an example. Where am I at? What I need mailers, right? So we go to print house. Yeah, here we go. All right. So I went and sent some cash offer
Postcards.
postcards. Thank you.
Let's see it. Did you make that in here?
I did. Let me back up. You guys can go knock on his door.
You don't know. Oh yeah, you do have the address.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever. Let's see. I'm trying to find where it's in Design Center. Sorry. So typically you'd want to start here if you don't have your design yet. So if you want to send, like we have Valentine's Day coming up, right, in 4 days. So probably a little late to send a mailer for Valentine's Day. But if you wanted to, you can go here and you can do that. So my designs here, I did, here we go. I'm trying to, sorry, user error.
Maybe I have to.
There we go. So I have to download it, which is kind of annoying because these are already created and done. When you don't, I was trying to get it to where you can actually see and edit it, which usually you can. That's really weird. Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
All right. Anyway, Lofty Designs, go in. You can create your whatever you're going to do. Kwanzaa. And it already has a lot of things you can do for this. You can also go into Canva and just do your Canva design, and then you can upload it directly in here and adjust it and put it right on there. Cool part about this is that you can come in here and you can start adding elements. What I like to do is I add my QR code, like Iris mentioned. And then this is going to take me to a landing page.
Now, did that in the top right corner, the realtor logo and the equal housing, did you have to add that, or was that already there?
I added all this. I just used the template. So
okay.
My brand, Ridgeline Group, I've got my phone number information. Typically, it'll populate with your own number and information there first, depending on how you want your stuff set up. So logos, right? It already has logos in here, right? So if you're part of one of these, you can add it. So I can go in and add my LPT logo. You know what I mean? So you can play with it however you want to adjust yours so you're standing out. And you can upload those as well. You can also add a property. You know, pictures of the property. So if you have a listing you want to highlight, right? You can do that. Obviously, I need to delete this, go in there. But I think you guys get the point. There's a lot of options you can do: text, property, elements. You can do lines and arrows, engaging. You can do a text code here. Cannot see that. Oh, going the wrong way.
Other way.
So now you can have a text code to blank for a free valuation home. That the part that I don't know is what numbers you would put in there. So I'll have to get back to you guys on that. You can put in here. Oh, okay. So when you put the text code on there, it automatically, when it mails it, it'll automatically input the information on there. So a unique tracking number will be set up to receive individual text codes generated for each individual mailing address. So now you can track each address that actually gets a text back or a QR code back, which is really cool because
and that just goes to your Lofty line, right? If you're paying for the...
Yes, that goes to your Lofty CRM and automatically goes and you get notified. So this is a sample, but when you put the addresses in there, it'll automatically associate that address to a particular QR code or text code. So now you can track what's actually getting brought back. So now you know, oh, David from Denver responded to my actual postcard versus you're like, who is this? What's going on?
Yeah. I love that. It's like mashing up, traditional marketing with modern marketing,
Mm-hmm.
which makes you look like an expert if you're trying to get more listings. Like, this is what we offer.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, it's nice. It makes it easy to do. So sizes, you want to make sure you choose your size accordingly. So like if I need to bring this down, right? So my postcard has got to be within a certain area if I'm doing it.
the
So you just have to keep,
postage.
yeah, the postage and everything. So now you see how that got bigger. So I'm just jacking all this up, but um, you can download it, you can text it, email it, save to a folder, you can embed it through a website, social post. So you don't have to mail it either. You can use this mailer as other features and options. And then when you're done, you just go to checkout or continue, confirm. So now I'm going to have to deal with that one at some point, this sloppy one. So I selected my design. Now I'm going to go to next. And then now the QR code or text code is going to be associated with, do you want it associated with a home evaluation page? Do you want it to force register your leads as they click on it? Which ideally you would say yes, but not everybody wants to do that. So you can turn on force registration pop up. You can do a custom page. So if I want to just go to evaluation where they do home evaluations, I can do that. If I have a cash offer site that I have a third party site, I can put that in there. So you can do that.
Yeah, your home bot or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Right. Tracking numbers, everything. So you adjust everything here. And then when you're ready and you're good to go, you text next. And then now this is where you add addresses. So you add manual. You can do a mailing list, right? You can select from your CRM. You can even purchase a geo farm list, which is really cool. So within Lofty, you can go in, and it might take a second. Hopefully this works, but you can go in and basically outline, do a polygon of whatever. We don't need that polygon of where you want to. So I'm going to go to Colorado. Oh, spring. Dunk. So obviously that would be way too
Huge.
big of a. So look, $175,000 175,000 properties. But the cool thing is now you can separate it into owner occupied, absentee owner,
For
vacant
those
property. So
rentals.
you can, if you're looking at doing a mailer for rentals, then now you can adjust your mailer specifically for them and then narrow down that population. So this is every single one, right? So you're not obviously
Yeah.
going to do that. Or hey, if you're a foreclosure expert and you're looking at providing foreclosure lists, now you can do that. You can go to this one, which is a bit small. Obviously, that's a lot of people. So let's see.
I like that. So the absentee owner, like I would send a postcard, tired of renting, you know,
Mhm.
rents
Yeah,
due
question
on the
mark?
1st. If it's not paid by the 5th.
So all those 11,000 addresses would cost me $2,300 to mail out. Obviously, mailers are expensive. That's a lot of mailers. I would not suggest doing that. I would
No.
do it. So let's back up for a second and let's do Fountain. Let's do Fountain, Colorado.
Does it sort by neighborhoods? Like, could you do
You
like
can.
High Valley
Let's
or some? Let's
let's
see if it.
do High Valley. Oh, maybe not. It's just city
No.
based.
What
South
about?
Fountain. What about what?
I was gonna say, what about like a bigger like neighborhood? But I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Let's see. So vacant properties, there's only 20.
Don't send cards to them.
Don't say.
They won't get them.
Yeah, exactly. Trustee owner, pre-foreclosure. So that what I would like to see is narrowed down a little bit. So maybe we can. Let's do something. I think we can. Yes. All right. And now we're talking. Did I just do a polygon where nobody lives? Let me go. Whoa. All right. We're getting somewhere. All right. We got some homeowners in here.
That's good. That works.
Come on. Oh, I got to connect the dots. So now, if you're looking
421.
at absentee owner pre-foreclosure, let's do that. All right. 421, $84 sending postcard to all those people.
Wow, that's pretty good. $84 to send the postcard or just to buy the list? I think
So
it's just
that's
to
the
buy the list.
buy the list. But if you get with your title company, they're going to have lists for you, and you're going to be able to do that. So let's back up. Let's back up. Brandon doesn't know how to back up out of here. Oh, that's where it was. Okay, it was a new page. Sorry. So I would say go to your title company. They have systems that you can go and get lists for free or a very low cost list, right? And then upload the mailing list because you can parse it within their systems, and then you can just do that. If you wanted a GeoFarm list, you could pay for it. Cool. All right. And then you can go back and add that. So, let's see here. We'll do add manually. We'll do a test. Test. Oh, that's not a test. Indiana, confirm. Bam. So now you have all your recipients. You're going to go next. You can do a recurring plan, or you can do one-time charge. You got your standard postcard. It's going to cost $1.20 to send one person. If you want first class, it's going to be $1.55. You can do the print date when you want it to go out, and then it takes 7 to 21 business days to get out for standard, 4 to 6 business days for first class. Return address, you can choose not to put anything in there. You could do your business. I would probably not put your personal address in there.
And I imagine the more postcards you order, that total price goes down.
Yes. Let's see. So this is reoccurring. Yeah, it does go down, but I don't know what it actually looks like. Why is it $35? What did we add on there? Oh, first class, and it's monthly for the month. So one person to getting a monthly postcard, first class is $30. So there's probably cheaper ways to go about doing it, right?
Well,
and I'm sure it goes down.
Yeah,
It
there's
goes down
others.
as you do more. But
all right. So do you want to go? Do you want to head over to open house forms?
yeah, before we do that, I want to check. You have the letter option as well, which is neat.
Oh, the
because you can
letter.
send letters as well. So if you already have things already ready to go, it already populates your template. You go in there, you can do that. There are companies out there that allow you to do that relatively cheap, but let's see what that would actually cost. $2.35. Yeah, 2 pages, handwritten letters, first class. So if you're looking at sending an initial introduction letter to your neighborhood of like 250 people, right? It's probably worth it. And then you can go and drop off, or you can just go drop them off, right? And that's another way to do it. But some people like to get it in their mailbox. But all right, let's move on. There's a lot of things. Make sure you guys post your questions if you think there's things we skipped over. Or if you have questions about anything, put it in there and we'll absolutely answer those questions. All right. I'm going to go back into my CRM once and then be like, oh, what is this going on here? I have this random Indiana address. All right. So open house forms. These are awesome for when you do, obviously, open houses, and you can have so I'll explain what I do. So I have my iPad. I get my open house set up. I get all my things going. I have my open house form open. And depending on if I have Wi-Fi or not, I usually have Wi-Fi on my phone, so I'll just do the regular form, but you have a QR form option as well. So let's see what that looks like. So it'll also do it from your listings. So if I want to do an open house for my listing, it's currently on contract, I can choose and update your questions, and then you can share those with who you want. So the cool part here is you can create, I have a welcome email that I have every time a new lead comes into my system. It automatically pushes out, hey, welcome to, my the Ridgeline group. I'm happy to serve you. And I go through all the things that I can help with and make sure they're comfortable. And then you can also send a welcome text and then register them as team leads or not if you're running a team. So if I want to open that up, this is my open house form. So now, cancel eyes. So now this is what the actual form looks like. If you have Wi-Fi, obviously you're going to be able to see this move, and then you'll be able to get the client. I like having this because I want them to actually fill it out right away, and I can see them fill it out, and I can click submit if they don't, because most people, they just fill it out and walk away.
Yeah.
So I can click submit, make sure you capture their information. And you don't have to be aggressive about it. Say, hey, the seller would love to keep track of who's entering their home. They want to make sure they get great feedback. You don't have to do it right away either. But I tend to do it as soon as they come in the door, take care of that, and then let them go off on their own. And then you can update your actual form, what you want as mandatory or as extra information, which is cool. So, phone, name, email, phone, what are they looking for? And then, hey, are you actually working with an agent? Last thing we want to do is start stepping on people's toes and having another agent working with these buyers and we don't know. So we definitely want to know that, because what I do is I send an email to them regardless. And I say, hey, I know you're working with an agent. If there's anything you or your agent need from me, let me know. And that way there's clear communication. And at the same time, if their agent's not doing their job and they end up not using their agent at some point, if they never signed or whatever the case may be, then they're going to likely come to me if I'm keeping in touch with them, obviously without crossing lines. You definitely don't want to do that. So what do you typically do for your open houses forms wise, Iris?
So I used to use an app where it was very similar. They could just log in. I know people will use Google Forms. There's a good old fashioned notebook on the counter. I've done that before because I didn't plan and organize and create this in advance, but uh, pretty much something similar to this.
Okay, that's cool. I love this within Lofty because not only does it capture their information, it associates it with the property. And then also you can use tags and things to ensure that you're staying on top. Oh, where did this open house person come from? Like
Yeah.
I've had it in the past where I'm like, crap, what was the address that I had that open house at? I have no idea. But when you do it on here, it'll automatically create a tag for you. It'll put it, you'll go back and it'll see it in the notes. It'll show you where it came from. And the idea behind using Lofty and all the features they have is to just really manage your leads and be able to follow up with them in a professional way that you can be effective with and provide value. So, all right.
Yeah, my CRM, there's a form that they can fill out, but this is the you said enterprise version. Everyone at
Yes.
LPT Realty gets this as being an LPT Realty agent, which is insane to me.
Yep.
Most people charge extra for this.
Yep. It just looks nice. It looks professional, especially if it's on your tablet or computer. People, and then if people are kind of standoffish, you can use the QR code. Just let them use their phone, right? And then now they have, if you don't have, especially if you're in a rural area and you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't have potentially signal or not, but they can still capture that link and say, all right, I'll fill it out when I get signal. Usually they probably won't do that though. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
wouldn't.
they don't do
Unless I
that
was
right away.
really serious about buying it, but
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. So we went over, I know that pretty briefly within those three topics of lead gen and managing different sources of leads. So I think that's it. I don't know. Do you want to touch on anything else for now or?
The one thing I do wanna mention just so that people can stay connected and subscribe or follow or whatever wherever you're listening, um, once you get the landing page, the lead from the mailers and the landing page and the open house forms, there's an automated system that goes out even after all this. So the work doesn't stop there. You obviously have to nurture, and Lofty's really good with automating email marketing, touch points. If you have the text messaging system that they offer, it's an additional price charge, whatever. Um,
Yes.
but it's kind of nice to have it all in one spot, so you're able to keep track, nurture, and send them stuff along the way. And maybe in a future video or future live, we can go over how to put them in the calendars, how to schedule the buyer tours, and all that
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah, there's tons of features. It all flows nicely if you dig into your CRM and you use it, right? It doesn't matter how good of a CRM you use or you have. If you don't use it, it's worthless. So you have to use it. But this CRM is fantastic, and there's others out there. Don't you know? There's tons of great ones
Yeah.
out there. But this is a great way, a free way, if you're with LPT, to be able to manage your leads and be able to push information out there, social media, smart campaigns. So they call them smart campaigns, and that way you can automate. If you have a lead that comes in from an open house form, you could automatically attach a smart campaign. Hey, thanks for coming out to the open house. Like a day later, you can send it a day later. Say, hey, thanks for coming to the open house. If you need anything, let me know. And then send a text 10 minutes later. And then send a video of like, hey, if you're interested in setting up some searches, I would love to help you. You know what I mean? So you're not having to go in there and do it yourself. You can automate that. And then as you get people that you're like more specific or more catered to, you can remove the automation. And now they're potentially in an active pipeline. So you don't need to have them on a automation at that point.
Yeah,
So I
and
think
there's different
that's great. Yeah.
stages that you can actually literally take the tab and move it across, and then each one has a different
Yes.
automation.
Like
So
for example, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say you literally almost have to do nothing to get this
Yeah.
going for it's like having an assistant.
Yes, I think the hard part though for a lot of people is getting it set up. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, there's so many things to do. What I would suggest is you start with your pipelines. Have a system within your pipelines, and I like the waterfall analogy. How does the waterfall go? It goes down, it flows down, it catches in the basin of water, and then it comes down to wherever is next, right? So if you have automation in place, you can come from new lead and you have like a 12-day, I hate the 12 days of pain or whatever. I don't like that
Mm,
wording, but you get what I'm saying. And
mhm.
then you can automatically, if they don't respond, put them into hot or cold, right?
Yeah,
And then you can go from cold
long
over a
term.
year. And then if they don't respond, then you put them in a different bucket. Or if they do respond, you put them right into hot. And now you got a weekly system
Yeah.
campaign. So it depends on you have to go in and really make sure your pipelines are set up properly and you're using them accordingly. And then from there, you can add automation and social media and AI and auto dialer and voiceless voicemail drops. There's so many different things you can get into. So, um,
Cool. Well, thank you for
yeah.
sharing that today.
Absolutely. No, thank you for joining
Very
me.
helpful.
We're going to do more. I think next time we're going to hop on Iris's page and share the love. But if you guys are looking for valuable information within Lofty or other topics within the real estate industry, Next Era Agents YouTube page, make sure you like, subscribe, and please post your comments below. I want to know how we can better the channel, better serve you as agents, whether you're with LPT or any other brokerage. So, absolutely.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, enjoy your Saturday, and we'll shout out to the Niners. Go Niners!
Ugh.
Let's go. I knew you were gonna give me the eye
I was
roll
like,
on
"Why'd
that
you
one.
end it that way?"
All
That's okay.
right, Iris. I
Okay.
appreciate you. Bye.
Bye.